I'm back.
Okay, got
Okay.
it. So we're actually live right now. I just went ahead and started broadcasting, so I won't have anything go wrong.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna send this.
Yeah, I know Houston traffic is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
People are waiting. I'll come in.
Okay. Sent. Showtime. So, are we going to have this on YouTube after?
I think it's directly. Let me look at it. I think it's recording. I need to play with this thing a whole lot more because I saw it post like my test one, but I didn't see the live one, and I've connected my account to it.
Okay.
So I just got the email. Okay, the chat Q&A. It's open. Features disabled. Okay, how do I do? Okay, where's chat? I don't see the chat. It
What do you mean?
says the chat. This feature is disabled for chat. I don't understand why it's disabled.
You see my text? You mean that chat?
The chat on the right. Okay, I see
Yeah.
hello. Why is it?
Not working on yours?
It's not showing on the right. This feature is disabled, so it must be an issue with. Okay, here we go.
Hey. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna message you. So you just went out. So
I'm going to do a repost. I should have done this earlier. Usually, I just take the link I sent you and just on my actual Instagram page online, I just update the link and repost it and say click on buy to log in.
okay. Let me get my phone. Hang on one second. Okay.
I retweet. Okay.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I posted it.
See. Someone just asked me to send them the link. Okay, let's.
Oh, it forces you to download the Google Hangout app.
Oh, for those who don't have it,
Yes, I see.
I think so.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle's in here. Yeah, I just tried. I just clicked off my Instagram link and it directed me to download the app.
Oh,
Let me see, but yeah, it's downloading.
let me tweet this out. Hi, Michelle. We have more people joining us. They notified us, so.
Okay, I think we're going to start in a few. I think some of you should just settle in. Marlon is here. Michelle.
Okay.
I'm not sure why it's not recording to YouTube, but it's live though.
Hey there, Marlon.
Hey, Young, sorry about that. My thing was muted.
Oh, okay.
The link is finally working today.
Yes. We're
That's
still,
good.
working out the kinks here.
Cool. Let me turn this background music on.
Okay. Okay, while we're waiting, I want to showcase my book. Can you guys see?
Everybody's been talking
I'm
about
so
that book.
happy. I just got it today.
Everybody's been talking about that book.
Yes.
Oh,
That's a
Tony
good.
Does it
Robbins?
go
Oh,
backwards?
he's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. I'm so happy.
I gotta find
So,
something for it.
actually, I already know the secret.
What's the
He talks
secret?
about it in a video.
Oh,
3
okay.
secrets. It's about allocating your assets, how you allocate them, and what percentage. That's really the highlight. But in the book, in the 500-page book, he details out, with examples and references.
Mm,
And he's just a very powerful speaker, so.
yeah. Cool. Cool.
That's right. What would be interesting also is like a year from now to be able to kind of compare how far we've come, all of us, who
Hmm.
have been following for a year.
That would.
Yeah.
That would. We still meeting tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know I sold that house in 2 days?
Which house?
The one you came to visit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we
Days.
still have another house, right?
Yeah, I sold a few. I'm looking at 2 tomorrow. I just got an email about another one. So,
Well, since we're talking about real estate, Tiwa's in real estate in Atlanta.
who is
Yeah.
taking this? Is
So
it
you
right?
guys need to have
Oh,
a
man.
conversation.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So you're Houston based?
Yeah, I'm Houston based. I actually planned on getting to the Atlanta market. I actually got a few students on Atlanta, but I haven't done anything out there just yet.
Okay, remember I introduced you too. Okay. Don't be running off with some great ideas.
That's hilarious.
You
I'm
guys
Hilarious.
are
sorry,
2 million
everybody. My
lives.
phone, my laptop was on mute, and I was just away working. I'm sorry. Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
Hi.
Hello. I'm Michelle Marlin. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm Marlon. Michelle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So how long you been in real estate, Tiwa?
This is my 7th year.
Oh, nice. What do
Yes.
you primarily do? What's your primary focus?
I primarily focus on international buyers.
Okay.
That's been my niche. That's been doing very well.
Yeah, it is. Well, you get 2 of those, you should be fine.
Oh yeah, I just closed last week, Wednesday.
Uh,
International client, all cash. So luckily, I've been falling to the cash deals, so it's
yeah.
very easy.
Now, are you doing them turnkey, or are they like? Because I know a lot of people use the turnkey strategy pretty much with the
Yeah,
international buy.
I try to get them to pretty much. I'm a lot of my clients are used because this is their second home. They want to come in and just get a property that is typically fully furnished. And the last ones I've sold have been fully furnished. So usually they'll make an offer on the model unit and buy everything in it with the furniture and make an offer, and they always take it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of the way. So usually when I find brand new units that condos or homes that are going up, I usually just tell the agent like if they can sell the unit, the model unit, they will buy it.
Nice. Yeah, those international buyers, they just don't really care, man. If they buy it full price,
Right. There's no haggling. Oh, I want to take 50,000. No,
exactly,
they like when can I close? That's the biggest thing. Can I close tomorrow?
exactly. That's exactly how it
Wow.
is. I mean, there's nothing they can really find on the inspection that'll just make them say no, thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Young, when I told you about that guy Moon Kim,
Right, Moon Kim.
he ended up buying 2 more properties.
Of yours?
Yeah, he bought the one on Vista, the one that you visited.
Oh,
So,
he's the one who bought it?
yeah, he actually bought it. I actually sold it to him. Well, one of his clients did.
Okay.
And so he's like,
They're
we actually,
aggressive. Those
huh?
guys are aggressive. They're
Yeah.
hired to do that, so.
Yeah. He actually told me like he was like, I got a ton of lifestyle members who are looking for properties like these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's funny. 2015? I'm
Yeah.
gonna do more of it. I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, you should.
But if I know the source, who needs lifestyle?
Exactly, exactly. I was thinking like if a lifestyle member was gonna get, I could have just called you up, you know.
Now you know.
Yeah. It
No
was
excuses now.
the tenants were the best tenants. It was just perfect. They were paying like $1,300 a
Wait,
month.
so you already sold that one? The
I
one you
did.
told me about yesterday?
No, I told you about 2 days ago, but I sold it though. But look, I get more. I get them often. I get them often. So
Okay.
yeah, I just got it to them because I just want trying to build a relationship with them. You know.
No, they would be ongoing for sure.
Yeah, I
That's
noticed
what
that.
they do.
I noticed that.
hmm You have to meet the founder, Dale Wemsley is his
Is he
name.
local?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, okay.
He's here in Houston. So very aggressive in business.
Nice.
Should we get started? I think we sent out the link a little too late today,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
we're gonna have to tweet that.
Yeah, I was just about to tweet and my phone died. Evidence, it's on 0%.
So we can get started. It is 8:23. Okay.
Okay, so shall we?
Okay, let's start.
Last week, where we left off, we had someone ask how we got started, right?
Right.
And Tiwa, you have an incredible story, so could you continue sharing?
Okay. Pretty much last week, my discussion that we were asked by some attendees, how did we start and how did we get into the line of business we are? They just wanted to hear our story, and I can tell my story again. So pretty much my story started off from my background, obviously coming from an international background. My family is Nigerian. I was born in England and I lived in the States. I've been very exposed to entrepreneurship from a little kid. You know, both my parents are entrepreneurs. My whole families are entrepreneurs. So it was just natural for me to go that path. However, when I moved to the States in 96 and went off to college in 97, I'm telling my age, I actually found when I was in college, I actually wanted to be like my dad. You know, my dad was in computer business, and I signed up for a course in computer information systems. And obviously, as we know it, the first 2 years are pretty much, I believe, they are electives or prerequisite, but usually not the main core classes. And when I started getting to my junior year, I now realized that I hate my major. I mean, I truly did. I did not enjoy anything about programming, C++ or COBOL or Java. I had no interest, and it didn't hit me until a Saturday afternoon. I was programming in the computer lab, and I just said, I hate this, and I don't want to do this. But the great thing about myself was obviously being on campus. I was very involved in every organization. I was involved in student government, orientation team, SOB. I pledged Kappa. Everything. I did everything on campus, and obviously I had a very strong pull towards organizing events. So with that, I took on the role of special events coordinator for my fraternity, organized big step shows, organized parties, generated my fraternity thousands and thousands of dollars. And then we had the opportunity to actually now do it as our own entity, my fraternity brother and I. And when we started doing that, I remember the first time I actually caught the whiff of making about $800 in one night. I mean, we both made 800 apiece from a party. And just to even cut costs, we started DJing. I mean, I started DJing and I never went to DJ school, but I just knew that I could mix music and people have a good time. And when I made that $800, the light bulb went off. Like, wow, you know, I'm in college. I'm just barely 21, and I just made $800 from a party that was within 3 hours. So my mind started tweaking. I said, okay, well, if I can do this 4 times in a month, I should be sitting pretty good, for the semester. When my budget for the month, because I was on a meal plan, was $100. So you can imagine my mind was just racing where I'd made so much money, and then homecoming came around. We made $8,000 a piece, and now my mind just exploded. Like, oh my God, like, man, this is crazy. Like, I can actually live off this. So my mind I started questioning, in a way, college. Like, man, college just, in a way, kind of restricts you if you don't have the light bulb. It doesn't go off early. So I was in turn able to, when I graduated, I still had that burning desire with this business, and I started, I transitioned to Atlanta, started doing it, and it grew. I mean, the branding, and I was never a marketing student. I didn't take a bunch of marketing classes. It was not my concentration, but I pretty much understood the basics, which was giving people what they want, quality, customer service, and these things kind of helped build my brand of Tiwa Works, which is my company's name. Started building that branding, and these events now turn into, I mean, you're talking about, for almost 4 or 5 years, huge events. I was living off these events, and to the point where I was able to buy myself a new car, but at the same time, I was very financially responsible. I had a corporation set up, I was paying taxes, just really structured well so I could legitimately run this as a business. And I know Young and I were talking today, and another thing that happened along the way that I think that continued to help me build this business was I took advantage of opportunities that came forward. While hosting our upskill events, I remember every Friday people come up to me, hey, I'm from DC, I want to buy a home in Atlanta, and I'll give a referral. Oh, call my friend, he's a realtor. Hey, T, I'm coming from New York, I want to buy a townhouse called Devon. Then by the third time, I said, hold on, man, this is crazy. Like, I'm giving away a lot of money. I'm not even getting a $100 referral. So I now decided to go ahead and get my real estate license. So at the same time I'm marketing these events, I can market my real estate services. So in the nighttime we have the parties, daytime we've got real estate, and that now became obviously my mindset of open other sources of income. It became a big deal where this real estate business was bringing in, generating funds. And then we started hosting a big event, the Atlantic Beach Picnic Weekend, that was drawing, back then, this is like 2007, 2008, was drawing a couple of thousands of people. So the parties were big, but now that event became larger than life because I applied these same principles. It became so big that 25,000 people now attend this event. It's a nationally known event. We do very well financially and social, responsibility. And these are things we just kind of, like I said, I didn't necessarily take special courses or programs. I just applied very basic rules of business into these things that allowed me to generate these, develop the branding, and just learning, always constant learning. Thank God for YouTube and the internet. I was able to just Google and read up on people and understand why some people are successful and what mistakes people made and try to avoid making them. And with that, I was able to now turn into consulting, where we now, I go to Nigeria every year for the last 5 years. And with that opportunity now, we're able to now help companies from America transition into the African continent that are looking to have a foothold. So these things are pretty much, that is my story as a whole, just taking advantage of opportunities that are available, relationships, partnering, and I have a pretty much simple model where I'd rather make 50% of $1 million than 100% of zero.
Right.
So that kind of mentality and philosophy has enabled me to kind of really develop my brand, keep moving forward, and just continue to develop.
So, Tiwa, a question. You were saying earlier about Business Trinity, which is the subject of our topic today, right?
Yes.
Our topic today. So how does your history tie into the Business Trinity?
Okay, so the Business Trinity is mind, spirit, and what was the other one again?
The body, the physical aspect.
Yes, the body. The mind, spirit, and the body. So pretty much my concept of the Business Trinity is you have to have a certain mindset going to business. Anything that you're doing, you have to fine-tune your mind into what you're getting into. So that's not just saying, hey, I'm going to be a real estate agent going forward. No, you pretty much are going to be living that aspect. You're studying it, you're getting involved, you're networking, you're going to these events, you're watching the shows, you live it, and then you kind of also understand by taking courses in it, understanding, wordings and everything that gets you more fine-tuned in the real estate business, and just also reinforcing yourself with positive things. It's being in business for yourself is a very challenging thing. It's not easy by any means. You're going to challenge daily where business the deals don't happen and falls through, bad things happen, but you have to be able to develop your mindset to have that strong foundation for you to be able to move forward. And then along that mindset, now you have the spiritual part. No matter what your spiritual or religious background is, everybody has the spirituality aspect where you have to have faith. That is the most important thing in business, because I'm telling you, I know many times I was discouraged. I've taken losses. I've lost. I remember one time I took a financial loss. I literally felt like throwing up. Like I felt like I was about to just bleh out everything. Like, I remember my mother was there and she just told me, hey, it's okay. It happens. Look at the bright side. You're lucky it's not $100,000 you lost. You just lost $5,000. And it's because I borrowed it from my aunt and I promised to repay her, and I lost it. So having that faith factor and knowing that, yes, I've failed right here, but I've learned a big lesson. And what typically we like to say is, if you lose the amount, that is the cost of the course. So if you lose $5,000, you didn't really lose $5,000 technically. You just paid for a $5,000 course, and we hope you don't have to take it again.
That's a good way to look at it. That is, definitely.
We with that spiritual aspect, like I said, it's really just having a strong foundation of grounding towards, a higher being and consciousness of yourself, and just kind of understanding that, these things are not easy. People who are successful, when you hear their stories, they always have some sort of a spiritual connection where something triggered them, and some way that, like Russell Simmons always talks about meditation, and you're just having that inner peace. These things help you just focus and balance yourself, because at the same time, it can be mentally and spiritually overwhelming just being in business. You're praying, you're fasting, you're doing all these things, and then the deal doesn't work out, and you're relying on that money because you're broke, or things are not working out. But the thing about it is that you have to also have that faith factor that pushes you, that eventually you will crush that threshold and you will be successful. And then the third aspect is obviously the physical. And with the physical is pretty much taking care of your body. You have, this is your only one place to live in. So we can, typically entrepreneurs, we end up spending hours and hours of, I'm going to stay up late. Like now, a lot of people talk about, sleep is for suckers. I don't sleep, and my body shuts down if I don't get some sleep. I start getting tired. I'll doze off. So, and you have to listen to your body, because it's warning you and telling you that you need to shut down, and you don't want to now get to a situation where you start falling ill and sick because you didn't take care of your body. Also, that's comes along with eating right. You work out, and I know for myself with the Greek Picnic weekend, it's such an intensive 5-day weekend. I probably not get more than 3 hours of sleep per day. And what I realized one day when I almost fell out was I have to actually start working out and running and building my endurance up, because when that weekend comes, I can't not operate. I can't fall out. I can't be tired to that extent, but I've conditioned my body to the point that I can take on the weekend. And once it's done, once that Sunday comes around, I can spend 12 hours sleeping. But you have to condition your body with, good rest. You eat right. That's even with, even just your general habits, your general day-to-day habits. You have to take care of your body, because it adversely will affect how you operate in business. So pretty much that's the Business Trinity from my perspective, and how us as entrepreneurs can merge these three things together and really continue to develop ourselves to move forward. Because unfortunately, a great businessman and entrepreneur like Steve Jobs, his health failed him, and he had all the money and success in the world, and unfortunately, nothing could happen. So that kind of thing puts things into perspective, where you have to always take care of yourself, have time for yourself. And we discussed that last week about when we were talking about Thanksgiving break, and are we going to take a week off, or are we going to take some days off? I said, yeah, we may take an hour or so, but we're going to get back to it. But we know once everything is done or this project is complete, we're going to have to take that vacation for 3 weeks, a month off, and just, re-energize.
Yep. I tell myself, I keep pushing it out though, kicking the can down the road. I'm like, you know what? In March now, I moved it to March. It was actually supposed to be November. In March, I'm going to take like a full vacation. That's what I keep telling myself because I work through Thanksgiving. So I'm like, okay, come March, I'm going to close my shop.
Right.
Anyway, we'll see what happens in March.
So on your side, your perspective on the Business Trinity, what's yours?
Well, I like to insert some live examples, right? Some of the things I'm struggling with, and this could be our little forum. I'd be open to you guys giving me some advice. So I'm shorthanded at this moment. You come to a place where you're so busy, right, and with your work, you're thinking, okay, right now is just about the right time to hire someone, because you can do so much, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So you're trying to hire someone, do the work all at the same time. And, you're trying to take the shortest, quickest route, and that is hire someone, right, to do, you can unload, you can delegate work to. But, going through the whole interview process is extremely painful because you don't know what you're going to get. Everyone, lip service, you never know what you're going to get. It takes time to figure out how they really work and so forth and so forth. So what do? You go to your friends to say, hey, extra work? I'll pay you if you can just come in and help me out. And you think, of course, we're friends, that's fine, but somewhere along the line, if we're having a business conversation, their business radar will go off and they'll act professional. So I asked this one friend of mine, I asked her, hey, give me your available hours so I can fit in some projects into your schedule. That was 6 weeks ago. Wow. So I thought, okay, we're all busy, that's fine. So I wait 3 weeks, okay, because I'm busy too. I'm not there to chase her down. So 3 weeks later, I'm thinking, oh, let me contact her to see where she's at. 3 weeks later, and then she's saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. I got distracted. I have other things going on.
Oh,
I'll talk to you. I didn't hear anything back. I'm like, okay. And then just yesterday, she texts me her schedule, of available times. So then I said, what is this for? And she goes, well, you asked me like 3 weeks ago for my schedule. So I said, oh, 3 weeks ago exactly. It's over. I already took care of it. Thank you. And aside from that, we're still going to be friends. But my challenge is, when you ask friends to help you, I guess friendship comes first, right? Because you won't act like that to an employer. An employer or a possible prospect, a potential client says, hey, I need this. You would turn it around in 24 hours.
Exactly.
But to respond 6 weeks, and then they get upset, right? They're like, why are you upset? I'm like, I have every right to be upset. This is work. I'm not asking for you to do me a favor for a hobby. There's going to be an actual cash transaction here. So anyway, with all that said, balance. How do you define balance? Tiwa, or anyone in our viewers, when you're so busy and you want to hire someone as quickly as possible, what do you do? I mean, the shortcut is to find someone that you know.
Right. I think the balance of it, I mean, it's tough working with friends because, most friends don't always look at you in a light where, oh, she's urgent, she needs it done, I'll get to it, oh, I forgot. That typically happens because they're your friends. They're not your business partners that understand the urgency per se. And then the tough part is, how do you now find that person? I think
yes,
it's tough because I've been through that, or finding good help or people that I know that are reliable. I mean, I've been through so many people that, hey, we need you to work on this project, and they drop the ball, and they drop it. And when you drop it more than once, once is enough for me to know that you're not reliable, because it can be very expensive. It can cost you. And One thing that I've done one thing is that a lot of people now, because of social media, people start reaching out and, hey, if you ever need any help, I do this, I do that. And I just kind of start keeping a mental note of who these people are. When opportunity comes forth,
Yeah.
like, hey, got a project, are you ready? How do you feel? What's your schedule like? Are you available? And, can you do it? Because if you can't do it, please don't take it because we need to get it done. And luckily for me, over the years, I've been able to find a couple of these people and I've kept them close to the fact that we've done more than one project for different brands that, we currently manage. So they're responsible and dependable. Hey, I need you to take care of this. Can you do it? They do it. They bang it out. So
Right.
it's tough, but I mean, there are people out there, and as people watch you through, just being active on social media, that's why I always encourage people, even if you're posting things on what you're currently doing, it's good because it's putting it out there in the world, letting people know what you're doing, and now people will reach back like, oh, I saw Tiwa post this about this career fair. Let me see if he needs anybody to help manage the event when he does it, And those are things I think about later, like, man, I'm doing all this work. Who am I going to get to manage the iPad and check people in? Oh, Shanae hit me. She wants to do it. Okay, good. I can hire Shanae. Shanae has event management experience. And that's the best way to do it. So it's constantly putting and talking about these things actively, and it draws people back into you.
Good point. So does anyone else in the group have any feedback? We're shy today, aren't we? After Thanksgiving. No, but Tia, you're right. You have to keep moving, right? And figuring out who are more available to help you and who's not, and to use your available network and resources to continually to reach out and keep that conversation going. So, that's where I'm at. But, my point is, no matter what, whether they're friends or business associates, you always remain professional.
Right.
And sometimes it's easier to maintain a business relationship than like a personal friendship, because somehow when people are personal, rules go out the window. They think they can treat you any way they want, and you're supposed to understand. But in business environment, there are rules, that people usually naturally abide by, and that is to at least follow up, follow through, answer phone calls, answer texts or something. But when it comes to, mixing both, that can get a little blurry. And that's part of the conversation of keeping balance. Mind, body, and spirit, but also relationships.
Right.
Which is all tied into everything. Balancing relationships with your network.
Yeah,
Right.
and I agree. Like I say, I honestly don't do business with friends. I just don't do it.
Really?
Like the number one rule not to do. You know,
Have you
I
been
would
burned
start,
in the past?
and help them with their visions and everything like that, but
Yeah.
try not to burn. I don't want to burn any relationships with. That's just how it is.
Right.
But I've got some friends that are actually, we have so much alike that we're actually business partners, and I think because everybody who's your friend is not necessarily you can do business with. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
We're just never on the same page. But you've got some friends that are great assets that you eventually, it's undeniable where you will do business together because you just work and you mesh well together. But I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying. Where some people you're just never going to do business with them. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
Right.
I actually have the friends that I met through business that are good friends.
Right.
But
They've
as far as
become
like love, I'm not gonna force them to do anything, and it is like that.
Okay, so I'm going to throw in another challenge of mine, in the relationship realm, and that is, when do you know that you've outgrown a particular set of friends, right? That's always sensitive, right? Because as you focus on your business, you have goals, you have, milestones to reach, but your friends are like, hey, let's go shopping, or, whatever the case might be, and you can't because you have goals to reach.
Right.
And then you come to a point where the conversations aren't the same anymore, right? Because you're focused on your business or your goals, and your friends are still focused on gossiping and what's the latest program on television. So how do you break away, right, from those situations? That's a tough one. It really is. maybe case by case, depending on the individual.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it slowly fades away, because you as a person, if you're growing in business and you're just kind of constantly elevating and you have a friend that's not kind of catching up with it, it's not necessarily you have to be in the same field, but separate fields. If they're not catching up with you, you're just slowly going to fade away because you're always going to be busy. They want to go out and party, and you're like, no, sorry, I have to work, and oh, I have to call you back. I have a conference call to get on, and slowly you will find yourself even discussions about business or to talk about your day and what you did. It's just not going to be the same conversation because they're going to want to be talking about love and hip hop ATL, and you're going to want to talk about what your banker was telling you about how to increase your credit score. I mean, your line of credit and how to secure these loans. So you're just by natural behavior, you're just going to slowly just go your separate ways. Where they'll say, oh well, Tiwa's always busy. He's always busy, so he doesn't have time for me to go have fun. And then they slowly find somebody else to kick. Not that they don't like you anymore, but I mean that's just from my experience. What happens? You just slowly go your separate ways.
So has everyone else experienced that, where you have to kind of divorce yourself from a certain group of friends that you were close to at one time?
Like I said, I don't. I got about 5 friends who know nothing about business, so we keep
Five.
it at that.
Okay.
That's something wrong?
So do you feel those friends are friends for life, and everyone else is pretty much?
No. I can make new friends through business, but for the most part, like the friends I grew up with, those are just friends I grew up. Maybe they don't have the business sense, but we still good friends or whatever.
Yeah, so well, those were some of my challenges because then, you want to share your successes or even failures, and they give you this stare like, really? We're gonna talk about that? And then you're like, well, not anymore. No, what are we going to talk about? So those have been some of my challenges during my Thanksgiving holiday week.
Right.
So, yeah, because you're spending more personal time with your friends and family, and that's where you are.
And then the conference goes, hey, so what's been going on? And you want to talk about, oh man, we just started this new group and we're doing this and we have raised this X amount of dollars and we're going to invest. I'm like, no, that's boring. Like, I don't hear all that. What else is going on?
Right.
They tell you, oh, we don't want to talk business. Like, nah, this is Thanksgiving. Don't talk business. And all you know is almost 365 is business. Like, that's your interest. That's what gets you, riled up.
Exactly. So then, you want to share, right, so that they could be part of your success. And then when you try to circle them in, then they treat it like a hobby. You lose. It feels like it's a losing situation. So you just keep going. At the end of the day, you still keep going.
Right. I mean, it's just a different mindset of focus and with business, and it's unfortunate everybody's not going to be on the same page, and it's and that's from families to best friends, and if you're lucky to have that, that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm. So then to come back to the mind, body, and spirits, I think it's essential to get your rest. I like to put hashtag saying "Team No Sleep." That's a popular hashtag. But then I think, well, no, I do need some sleep. I need to get some rest, especially in my field, in the creative field. People think I should be creative 24/7, 9 to 5. I should whip out a logo like in an hour, and that doesn't happen. Sometimes it hits me at 2 a.m., and then, during the day I'm sleepy. So I know only artists can understand what I go through, and I can understand what they go through. But I think even then, it's mental. It's mind, body, and spirit. That when I'm out working out, then I feel guilty. I'm like, oh, I should be at work.
Right.
Yes, working. What am I doing out here? I'm enjoying this beautiful weather. I'm not being productive. So those are some of my challenges. So I see Cherie, I see Kessler, Rain, Michelle, Ola. Marlon, he's been helping, and me. Any thoughts? Any stories you want to share over the holidays tied to your business? Did you work at all, or did you just close shop? Yes, I heard. I see a yes. Yeah,
I
and I work except for Thursday, of course.
I run a startup, and we launched the first part of our platform on Sunday, which was interesting. We went back and forth to try to figure out if we wanted to wait until after the holiday, but then we made the bet that people would be sitting at home, kind of the turkey would start wearing off, and people would be paying attention online. And so far, the bet has paid off. But I think for us, one of the biggest challenging challenges for us as we think about marketing, especially going into 2015, is to kind of punch outside of our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So we run a travel startup, and we've got a lot of good press coverage. But I think one of the things we're really focused on is finding ambassadors that aren't in our circle. So right now, our obvious circle is members of the African diaspora. And
Mm-hmm.
then outside of that, people of color. But we know that in of the 10 million people that are traveling to our target market every year, that's just a small percentage of them. And so one of the things we're doing is looking at how can we attract and connect to other demographics
Uh-huh.
early on without spending too much money on user acquisition. So that's something we're wrestling with a lot. We started changing how we appear to the world, but we had a meeting even today with Rush Communications, and one of the first things they said that Russell Simmons would say is that you guys have to diversify how you look to the world.
Right. It's the branding.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's something we're kind of working through now.
It's all about branding. It's how people perceive you. So it's the language that you use, the images that you use, and even in environments that you target to communicate, right? So where do you communicate now? Where are you? What platforms are you visible in?
Right now, it's mainly social,
Mm-hmm.
only because we're a startup. We've only been in operation for 6 months,
Okay.
and so we're mostly social. And I think on social, what we're seeing, especially what we saw Sunday when we launched the website, is that when people come across it, it
Mm-hmm.
speaks to a lot of different audiences, and so we chose the branding to do that. But even when we look at our personal networks, which is I think that's really where we're hurting a little bit,
Uh-huh.
is the word of mouth, because we've branded in a way that should speak to a diverse audience. But
Okay.
my social network and that of my co-founders, um, it kind of is not as diverse as we would like it to be. It's large. It's 2,000 people on my Facebook, 2,000 people on my co-founders Facebook, but I just
Yeah.
don't think it's as diverse as it needs to be. So the word of mouth, I think
Mm-hmm.
we're missing because we're not connected to those circles through our own networks.
Okay. So do you already have
Otherwise,
some
I think we're doing
strategies?
well.
Okay. Well, first, congratulations. So
Thanks.
I'm assuming, is it safe to assume that you already have some tactics laid down to be more visible in various uh, ethnic groups?
I think we've started, but I think part of it is also understanding those spaces. So,
Uh-huh.
it's one of those you don't know what you don't know kind of situations.
Right.
We think we know where those people are, but we don't know them as well as kind of our first line demographic. And I think that's really where it is. There are some places where everyone we're targeting is at the same place,
Uh-huh.
but I think there's a next level of penetration that we're just researching to figure out where they are.
Okay. Anyway, you have the look like you're in deep thought. Do you have any suggestions?
No, I'm just listening in. I'm not sure. I'm very aware. I'm very aware of the app, so I'm just listening to what Sheree's saying.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, my thought is because I frankly feel that I'm pretty diversified as far as my network, and that it took a few years to really have a diverse group, within, immediate reach. And I'll give you an example. I went to a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I used to go often, and then they would kind of give you this look like, are you Hispanic? Do you speak Spanish? I'm like, no. Hola. That's all I know. And but you go, and then you go often enough, and eventually they treat you like you're Spanish. They're like, okay, come on, and then treat you. So being consistent with visibility helps. And then finding that one, this might be, a common sense, but find that one connector in each group, right? And if you spend any time, instead of just doing this, what is that, shotgun approach, instead of doing that in, various multiple groups, find one person that has a strong network in each ethnic group and nurture that relationship. And they will eventually build that network for you, as that trust is being built. So, you already know this, right? And that's just a matter of time. And then as you nurture that relationship with that individual or those individuals, they'll educate you in what language to use or what subject to highlight, right? Or what season is particularly important in that particular, culture. So, for example, like Asians, I'll speak for Asians. Chinese New Year, the lunar calendar is coming up after the New Year's. So that's going to be the subject that's going to become, essential. So every time, if you bring up, hey, the lunar calendar New Year's coming up, you just throw that conversation and then everyone will start talking. So if you find that kind of subject, right, in various ethnic group, or if you go to like the Latin community and you just bring up, hey, do you have kids? If they say 8, 9 years, 15, 16, they say, oh, quinceanera, that should be coming up, or bar mitzvah. And this is the type of information you don't even really have to know someone. You can just Google it and find out. But get those key subjects and just throw it out there, and that instantly they feel like you're familiar with their culture and people will connect with you. But who doesn't love to travel?
Right.
I don't know one person who doesn't like to travel. So that should be fairly easy.
Right.
And you're welcome to share it, in the chat box. So if you haven't already.
Look at the excitement.
Yeah, I love to travel. But anyway, it's almost 8 o'clock. I know we started a little late today, but we like to respect everyone's schedule. So Carmen is not here. She's still in South Africa, speaking of traveling. Unfortunately, she was unable to join us today, but she's going to come back. She'll be here next Monday, right?
Right.
Let's hope so, that she'll decide to come back after all. And we'll resume our engagements with Carmen. And so, Tiwa?
Yes, definitely. Again, it's always a pleasure being on this. Marketing Mondays, week 7 weeks strong. We're definitely going to fine tune, obviously, making sure we get all the information out to you guys earlier. We'll probably send out the email, probably early in the day. You get everything first thing that morning. You should get the link, so you can just sit on it and forward it to friends and whatnot. So we're still fine tuning ourselves in house, but we're getting better. At least the chat's not limited. Wasn't just limited to like 10 people.
Last week. Exactly.
But, pretty much I'm again happy to always be a part of this, to share experiences as I grow as a young entrepreneur. I still feel I'm, even though I have many years in it, so much experience, I still feel I'm still learning. And, it's just, like I said, the relationships, networking, like-minded people. This is truly, almost, I feel like it's like truly like the 1%ers. This is how you get to the 1%. And those guys, again, you're always taking time out to tune in and listen in. It's paying out, making that little sacrifice makes the difference, because you're gathering information that positively will turn into cash flow for you, no matter what field you're in. But thank you guys always for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
next Monday.
All
All
right,
right.
so you guys next Monday, we'll post it on social media, send the link, email, all the good stuff very early next time. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care.
All right, good night, everyone.
Yeah.